Well, coming to you today from Rodeo Drive on Beverly Hills. If you catch a parking meter there, you might find it to be kind of unusual. I know a few years ago I was meeting there with some people there with a client, some others, and we were sitting outside there, and I noted that the parking meter there had Duncan parking meter made in Harrison, Arkansas. Well, those have been around for a long time, but I think it's kind of a catch thing I use when I'm traveling and have done in the past. And I found them down in Buenos Aires and a lot of other places around the world. But catch it back to Harrison, Arkansas is kind of unique, and it's kind of important when you're talking to people to give credibility, particularly when you're in the software business. So this podcast is going to be about I guess movies that have been made involving Parkinson's. When you start researching that and doing a question on that, and then you put in something about A-listers, the top people in Hollywood doing a movie, there is not any, and they really want to point back to one movie in particular, which was done about 14 years ago. It's kind of the top of the list for most people because it does refer to Parkinson's in that, and it was a one that's called Love and Many Drugs. It was probably a turnoff for most people because just the rating itself was R for strong sexual content, nudity, pervasive language, and some drug material. So I know that maybe the conservative audience at that time didn't watch it, and I really didn't watch it, and I've just recently gone back to watch it because it did have some good red stars in here. Obviously, you go back and you look at it and you say, well, there's Anne Hathaway or Jake Gyllenhaal. Those could be considered today as A-listers, but maybe not 14 years ago. The only reason I wanted to bring that to attention is why has Hollywood sidestepped Parkinson's. I know there's been some attention to Michael J. Fox and some of his activities and some of the movies, but the movies he had, Back to the Future, he didn't talk about his Parkinson's, and that wasn't part of the storyline, but it was the outside story. And more recently, he's done some documentaries, but most of the things you find today are not in the box office hit type category, where Love and Other Drugs did take in over $100 million in the box office, and at that time, it cost $30 million, or even, that tells you something about there wasn't A-listers, or it would have been more expensive to produce at that time. So I'd like you to enjoy at this time sidestepping